to know how to be a soldier for Christ. As the hymnist said, stand up for Jesus, ye soldiers of the cross. Lift high his royal banner, it must not suffer loss. From victory unto victory, his army shall be lead, till every foe is vanquished. So we as believers have authority, we have the power given to us from Jesus Christ to be soldiers for him, to be ambassadors for him. And so we need to have just a sense of courage, not in anything we are, but in everything that Christ has done.
Amen.
So today I would like us to open to the first chapter of Joshua. That will be our main walking point for today. Joshua chapter 1, verses 1 to 10. I'm sure many of us already know what it says, but again, it never hurts to be reminded. Why? Because the Bible says that these things are to be an example for us, and we're to learn from past experiences so that we do not make the same mistakes. Hallelujah. Joshua chapter 1, verses 1 to 10. And it reads, After the death of Moses, the servant of the Lord, it came to pass that the Lord spoke to Joshua, the son of Nun, Moses' assistant, saying, Moses, my servant, is dead. Now therefore arise, go over this Jordan, you and all the people, to the land which I am giving to them, the children of Israel. Every place that the sole of your foot will tread upon, I have given you, as I have said to Moses. From the wilderness and this Lebanon as far as the great river, the river Euphrates, all the land of the Hittites, and to the great sea towards the going down of the sun shall be your territory. No man shall be able to stand before you all the days of your life. As I was with Moses, so I will be with you. I will not leave you nor forsake you. Be strong and of good courage, for to this people you shall divide as an inheritance the land which I swore to their fathers to give them. Only be strong and very courageous, that you may observe to do according to all the law which Moses my servant commanded you. Do not turn from it to the right hand or to the left, that you may prosper wherever you go. This book of the law shall not depart from your mouth, but you shall meditate in it day and night, that you may observe to do according to all that is written in it. For then you will make your way prosperous, and then you will have good success. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and of good courage. Do not be afraid, nor be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Now this just happened after the death of Moses. Moses had died in the previous chapter, Deuteronomy chapter 34. He died on the Mount Nebo, and the people had been mourning for him for quite a period of time. And so for Joshua, I personally can sympathize with him quite greatly, because this is somebody who was being mentored. He was being mentored day in and day out for a considerable amount of time. The whole 40 years they were in the wilderness. And now the time has come for him to lead the people. He wasn't sure this day was going to come. And for many of us, we don't know. We think, oh, that day is some day far in the future. It's going, we know it's coming, but we just tend to push it off. And then one day it's here. And for Joshua, it was here. It had arrived. And he was shaken, visibly shaken. And rightfully so. Most people, to lead such a stubborn people through the wilderness for 40 years as Moses did was a great challenge. But that was the easiest part of it. Now they were going to have to face some battles. Now they were going to have to fight. They had a leader who was willing to just, coast them through and get them through the wilderness. But now they needed a warrior. They needed a leader. They needed somebody who was willing to step up and be the commander-in-chief for this army of Israel. And so Joshua was visibly shaken. And it's very easy for us to be confident where things were going well. Things were going well for Joshua. He was in the background. He had helped Moses in some of the fights that they had had in the wilderness, but they were far and few in between. And so it's sometimes we feel that we're not prepared simply because of how the situation just jumps up on us. Many people park at the point of their pain. Many people, they see a problem, they see a situation, and rather than admitting the problem, Moses had died. Rather than admitting the problem, many people, they continue to deny the situation. They may not even realize they're denying the situation. That's the funniest thing. People think they have moved on from it. But some people, they still haven't denied the situation. First, they still haven't accepted it. For some people, it's in their heart for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. They just think, oh, I can just sweep it under the rug and the problem is gone. Moses, the Lord had to reiterate to Joshua, Moses has died. That is the situation, whether you like it or not. You have been crying now for 3 months, 5 months in the wilderness about it. You're not going to bring him back. He has died. I have buried him. Right? And then he now says, arise, go over this Jordan, you and all the people, to the land which I'm giving to them, the children of Israel. So God wants us to mourn. He wants us to go through that period of grief. But at the end of the day, there's a period of time where we have to rise up and walk. We have to stand up. And this is what, if we look at the account with Jesus when he healed the paralyzed man that was sitting at the pool for 38 years. Again, it's the same principle. Somebody who has been sitting there for 38 years, he doesn't even realize he has a problem anymore. He has come to the point where he just thinks that it is how it is, and he's just that is how it's always going to be. I can't change anything about it. Even though, the angels stop troubling the waters, he's healing it. If I go in there, I'll be healed. But I can't do anything about it. I'm just stuck here. And so many people, that is it, right? So Jesus came to this man who was there for 38 years. And what did he tell him? He said, do you want to be made whole? Are you really serious about this? And that is essentially what the Lord is telling Joshua here. That's essentially what the Lord is telling us here. Are we serious about wanting to go into the promised land for Joshua? Was he serious about it? You've now been in the wilderness for 40 years. Are you really serious about wanting to get this land which I have prepared for the children of Israel? Or are you just one of those people who is going to just crumble at the sight of pressure? Who is going to fold when they see a problem, when they see some difficulty? Right? And so the Lord wants us to, He knows our frailties. He knows we're ultimately going to be scared. But as Jesus told the paralytic man, he said, rise up and walk. He didn't just, come down and just sit by him and say, I'm sorry, I know, it's tough. He said, you've been here for 38 years, get up and walk, and take your bed with you. Take what you've just been sitting down for many years, just laying around and letting it just, just build up there, no change, no anything. He said, take your bed with you and go home. Go home. Go to what and do something with your life. Live the life that I want you to live. Amen. Do what I've asked you to do. Amen. That's what the Lord is telling Joshua here too. Arise, get up, go over this Jordan. You've been here for 40 years now. You want to stay here for another 40 years in the wilderness? You want to die out here? Or do you want to take possession of what I have for you? The Lord is saying the exact same thing to us today. He doesn't change. Amen. He's the same yesterday, today, and forever. And He's telling us the same thing too. Get up, face the situation head on. Maybe we're not even aware that we're crying over a situation. Sometimes we manage to suppress it so much that it becomes like a state of life. We just begin to think, there's not even a problem anymore. It's just how it is. Everything, I can't change it. But we have to just entrust ourselves to Him and do what He has for us. Just rise up, walk up, and go over the Jordan and go to the land that He's giving for us. Right? And He said, everywhere that the sole of your foot will tread upon, I have given you. He didn't say, everywhere that you look with your eyes, or you dream about, and you just sit down doing, I've given to you. He said, everywhere the sole of your foot will tread upon. Yes. What does that mean? It means that we have an effort. We have to put forth an effort. We need to go out and claim what you have. You can't just simply sit down on your chair and be looking as Abraham was looking. I mean, not even Abraham, but as many people look, they just be admiring, this is so nice. They have a nice car, or they have a nice ministry, or they have a nice this, they have a nice that. But, there's not much I can do. I can't get it. You have to walk like a soldier and claim what the Lord has for you.
Amen.
And He said, everywhere that you tread upon, I've given you. As I said to Moses, from the wilderness of this Lebanon, as far as the great river, all the land of the Hittites, the great sea. What is He saying? He's saying everywhere that if you want to claim it, it's for you to claim it. I've given it to you if you're willing to do it, if you're willing to put forth the effort.
Yes.
How many of us are willing to put forth that effort? That's what we have to ask ourselves.
Yes.
And it's a daily thing that we have to do. It's not a one-day thing. God did not promise Joshua He would get it in one day. He didn't promise that you just do a little bit of effort and then all of a sudden, boom, it's all there.
Yeah.
This was a lifetime mission that the Lord was telling Joshua. He was saying, it starts today. If you want it, you have to start today, and you have to be persistent. Amen. You're going to face some difficulties. You're going to face some terrible enemies.
Thank you, Father.
You're going to face some people who want your neck. People who don't like you. People who don't want you to succeed. People who are always negative. People who are always getting you down.
Yes.
But he said you have to tread upon it. You have to claim it with your feet.
Hallelujah.
And he said, no man shall be able to stand before you all the days of your life. Hallelujah. As I was with Moses, so I will be with you. What does he say? That is a promise that if you do what I tell you to do, I will always be with you. I will always accompany you. I will never forsake you. There will never be a time where you feel alone. Even when everybody may have even abandoned you. Even when somebody doesn't understand your problem. You know, that's the thing. Sometimes people don't even understand your problem. They're there with you physically, but they don't understand. They don't get it. They might not understand. It could be you are working 12 hours a day and you're doing a lot of work. People don't understand it. It could be a sickness. It could be financial trouble. It could be anything. And even though people are with you, you may still feel alone. But the Lord is saying, I will never leave you or forsake you. And He knows our difficulties. He came in the person of Christ, and so He knows our experiences. He knows our feelings. And when He's making that promise, it is an eternal promise. As it is repeated in Hebrews, He said, I will never leave you nor forsake you. So we have to ask ourselves, it's a matter of, are we willing to go out and take what we have? Are we willing to claim that which we have? Take hold of that for which Christ has taken hold of for us, as the Bible says. Right?
Yes.
And he says that it is such a powerful promise. And it's not just, a lot of us tend to think, oh, it's just in church, it's with us, or this or that. Everywhere you go, when you're exercising, when you're going to school, when you're going to work, when you're driving in the car, when you're going to the grocery store, our bodies are the temple of the living God. That means He's with us every single moment of our lives. I don't think we really appreciate that. If we appreciated it the way we should, we will not even be afraid of anything that comes our way. Hallelujah. And so, sometimes, I'm sure for Joshua, he's heard this promise before. Many of us we've heard it already. We know we need to be strong, we know we need to be courageous, but we need to remind ourselves of it. That's what the Bible says that as in the first Psalm, that the man that is blessed, that he meditates on the word day and night. That is, he regurgitates it. You know, when you look at a cow, they have 4 stomachs, and what they do is they eat the food, then they regurgitate it, get some more nutrients, put in another stomach, regurgitate, put in another stomach, regurgitate, put in, and suck every single nutrient out of it. Not just one quick bite and then they just swallow it and then that's it. You have to regurgitate it over and over and over again for it to bring nourishment to your body, to squeeze out every last bit of nutrients that are in it. And so that's what we also need to be doing as well. We need to continue to hear it. We need to continue to hear the Word of God. We need to set our minds and keep them set on the Word of God. Continuously, all the time. It's not a one-day thing. It's not a one month thing, not a 1 year thing. You can't even learn it. It's something that is lifelong. You always have to do it, and you have to make a conscious effort to do it. The enemy is roaring about like a lion, seeking whom he may devour. He's looking for people who are not rooted in the Word of God. People who are not stable. People who crack under the pressure. People who are just a small disturbance in their faith, a small financial difficulty, a small legal case, a small this, small that, and then they just say, oh, it's too much, I can't do it anymore, I guess God is no longer with me, and that's it. We need to be soldiers. A soldier, when he faces a difficulty, he's ready to face it head on. He doesn't back away from the fight. The Bible says the devil is like a roaring lion, but he said like a roaring lion. We have the real lion, the lion of the tribe of Judah. That is the real lion.
Hallelujah.
He is on our side. We need not back down from somebody who just roar and get scared and run away. We have the lion who can give a big roar. That roar is the sound of a mighty water.
Yes, hallelujah.
Somebody will be afraid. They will shake in fear.
Yes.
No enemy will even, he said, no man will stand before you all the days of your life. And he said, what is the secret? He said, that the book of the law shall not depart from your mouth. That is, you are continuously reading the Word of God. We meditate on the Word of God. We focus on the Word of God. We root ourselves in the Word of God. We're like that tree planted by the rivers of water that brings forth that fruit in its season. And whatever we do will prosper. Because it's like like somebody who was rooted in water versus, rooted by the waters versus somebody who was just rooted in some fake, some phony, maybe it's just juice or something. It doesn't have the real refreshing nutrients that you need.
Yes.
And that's what water has. That is what the water is the Holy Spirit. So that's what we need to fill ourselves up with. And we fill ourselves up with that by continuing to read the Word of God, keeping our minds set, and not letting that book of the law, or for us the Bible today with all 66 books, depart from our mouth. And again, he said, be strong and of a good courage. It doesn't mean that you won't feel fear. A lot of people think it means, oh, if I have a big feeling, I have some fear, therefore it means I don't have enough faith or that or whatever. You may still even feel fear. But the difference is you don't back away from it. You don't just say, oh, the fear is now too much and I just can't do it anymore. There's fear. It's a natural human response. It's a natural human response.
Yeah.
But the difference is some people run away and some people face it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't just say, okay, it's too much, let me run away. Because at the end of the day, no matter where you run to, there will still be another problem over there.
Yes.
So are you going to be running all your life? This is exactly the problem. This is what David faced when he was running from Saul. He was just running from place to place, running around. He ran here to the Philistines. He saw that Goliath and Gath were there. He had to run away. Then he ran to this mountain. Saul was chasing him. He ran to the priest. He ran here. His life was on the run. But when he decided to face Saul, he said, that's enough.
Yeah.
He faced Saul in the cave. And he said, listen up. Listen up. He faced him head on. And what did Saul say? He said, is this not the voice of my son David? And he wept. Yeah. He wept bitterly. And he said that I know for sure you will be the king of Israel. Yeah. Because he was willing to face that situation. He didn't just run away continuously. Many people, they live their life on the run. We don't want to be like that. We want to be people who are strong and have a good courage. Yes. We want to be people who are rooted in the Word of God. We want to be good soldiers for Christ. You know, in the ranking of soldiers, you may have the lower soldiers, you may have the generals, you may have the higher up people in authority. You know, the soldiers, some of the lower soldiers, you know, people, they may just run away. You have people like Bergdahl, just ran to the enemy and just gave up. But the real general, he's not going to just run away when he sees the people are surrounding him. The real person who's in charge. Yeah. He's going to know where he stands. He's going to know his loyalty to the country he serves. For us, we are ambassadors for Christ. Yes. That means we need to be strong and have a good courage no matter the situation we face. Then we know that the Lord will be with us wherever we go. Then we know we will prosper and have good success, as the Lord promised to Joshua. But we need to be willing to be strong for the Lord. Be of a good courage. We can't just be people who just cower at the sight of fear and give up. Too many people are like that in the world today. They see a financial problem. They see a difficulty. They give up. We need to be strong and have a good courage.